You don't need permission. Just step forward. Ethan grew up in a small village where everything needed permission. Permission to dream. Permission to be different. Permission to do what felt right. Since childhood he was told things like, "You need to wait until you're older to decide. Don't stand out too much, people will laugh." That kind of life isn't for people like us. And so, Ethan believed the world beyond his rice field was a place meant only for the chosen ones. Not for someone like him. He carried himself like that, shoulders slightly hunched, eyes a little lower than others. But one day, as he was mending a torn fishing net with his father by the riverbank, he overheard a traveling merchant mutter, "No one's going to give you permission to become something. If you wait for them, you'll wait forever." That sentence planted a seed. He began to observe. The people who waited for permission never left the village. They lived with dreams that never took form. One day, Ethan stumbled upon an old book left behind on a market bench, a weathered volume on Stoic philosophy. No colorful images, no grand promises, just short, powerful lines. The first page read, "Don't ask for permission to live rightly. Just live it." Marcus Aurelius. Ethan read, then reread. For the first time he heard a voice different from the ones he'd grown up with, not one that told him to wait, but one that dared him to go. Stoicism taught him. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. You can't choose where you were born, but you can choose how you respond. You can't stop the rain, but you can learn to walk in it, unafraid. That was when Ethan understood. He didn't need permission. Not to leave. Not to try. Not even to fail. He packed what little he had, an old satchel, the book, and a heart on fire. But most importantly, he carried a decision, to live as if he had already been approved. Along his journey he met many voices. Some mocked, "Who do you think you are to dream that big?" Some cautioned, "Ethan, go home. The world out there isn't made for people like you." And some whispered, "You inspire me, because you dared to leave." He realized, no one truly knew what was permitted or not. They just lived in cages built by fear. Epictetus, once a slave-turned-Stoic sage, said, "No one can hurt you unless you allow them." Likewise, no one could stop Ethan, unless he stopped himself. He worked odd jobs, guarding gates, hauling boxes, cleaning inns. But each night he wrote in his notebook, not to complain, but to remember who he was. One rainy night, he slept beneath a market awning. Cold, soaked, alone. He missed home. Missed his mother's cooking and the warmth of belonging. But then he opened the book and found, "Love your fate, not because it's easy but because it's yours." And he smiled. No one chose that rainy night for him. But no one could take away his resolve either. Years passed. Ethan became a storyteller, not with fancy words but with real stories. Stories of failing, of learning, of walking forward without applause. He stood one day in a small classroom in the city, speaking to kids who grew up just like he did. Don't wait for anyone to say it's okay to dream. Don't wait for someone to clap before you take your first step. If your heart says it's right, that's enough. Go. What? And with every step you take, remember, you don't need permission. You are the permission. Final note. We're raised in a world that tells us to wait for approval. But Stoicism teaches something far more radical. That power is already inside you. Freedom is the ability to act with integrity regardless of applause. You don't need to be rich, famous, or ready. You only need to be willing to move, even if no one is watching. No one can live your life for you. No one can write your story. So don't wait. You don't need permission to step into the world. Just step forward.